Hello everybody, for today's beer review we're going to be taking a look at Founders Brewery Double Trouble Imperial IPA. I have been searching up and down for this beer. Ever since I found out about it, I always wanted to try it, and I think maybe it's the label art. There's just something so mystifying about the old man on the front, and then you flip it, and then it's the old lady, and it's just probably the most interesting beer label artwork that I've ever seen on a craft beer. This beer comes in at a whopping 9.4% ABV. You'll definitely be feeling it after drinking one or two of these. This is at 86 IBU, so it's getting up there to the pretty dang bitter range. And yeah, I've been looking for this for a long time. It's an extremely hot day, so it's IPA weather. I'll be drinking this out of my IPA glass today. So without further ado, I'm going to get the cap off because I'm really excited to try this one. Alright, straight into the glass it pours. Surprisingly, a lot more yellow and less orange than I thought it would be. Let's see if we can get some head on this. Alright. Pouring about a finger and a half of just slightly off-white, foamy, soapy head. Not a whole lot of bubbles screaming up to reinforce it, and that's probably due to how high the alcohol is in this beer. Into the light, it's actually very golden yellow. It does not look like a normal IPA. You know, usually you kind of expect the more amber, honey, and orange tones from an IPA, at least a high-quality one. But this one looks more like a regular beer, but I'm sure it doesn't drink like one. Let's give it a smell. Really nice, very floral, lots of citrus, grapefruit, oranges, bit of an earthy, herbal kind of smell to it, and there's a little bit of caramel in the back. And like I always say, if you smell just a tiny little bit of caramel in the back of your IPA, that usually means it's really tasty. So yeah. Obviously has a lot of hops to go along, and it has some bitter smells, but it's mostly very sweet. Let's give it a taste and see what Double Trouble's all about. Wow. That's really good. You've got sweet, bitter grapefruit and orange. Apple, like apple juice almost. It has a bit of a softer, creamier mouthfeel than what you normally get with an IPA. I'm not to say it's like a nitro or anything, but just not quite as watery as a lot of IPAs tend to be. This is definitely a sipping IPA because the finish is very bitter on the sides and the back of the tongue. Definitely not a beginner, probably even an intermediate IPA. I would say don't drink this one until you like pretty bitter beers because the finish is real bitter. It's delicious though. It is sessionable. I could drink through a lot of these. There aren't too many IPAs I couldn't, but you'll definitely be feeling it if you choose to do so, because the alcohol is quite high. It's not overly boozy. Can taste a little bit of the alcohol in the beer. That might turn some people off. I personally like really over-the-top boozy beers. The bitterness really shines through with you, and it lingers for a long time. Extremely long finish on this beer, but really good. As far as a rating goes, I'm going to give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. This will definitely make it onto my top 10 list of IPAs. The only reason I didn't give it a perfect 10 is because I think they need to add just a little bit more sweetness up front. Because it is quite bitter at the end, and a little bit more sweetness would have made it a bit more balanced. But then again, some people are in the mood sometimes for a really over-the-top bitter IPA. So 9.5 nonetheless. It's got the date on the bottle too, which is really nice. So I always like seeing when they put the dates on the bottles, because you never know if it's fresh or not if they don't, and that's important with an IPA. But anyway, yeah, 9.5 out of 10, extremely high quality IPA. If you're an IPA fan, you need to seek this one out and try it immediately, because it is good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review of Founder's Double Trouble, and stay tuned for the next beer review as per usual.